Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Reality TV Africa, where we talk about everything reality because over here, we love reality TV. Okay. Yeah, so today's review is on the Mommy Club, Mommy Club 2, Season 2, Episode 11. So we're coming to almost the end of the season, and obviously things are coming to a head. Most of that is going to happen next week, but let's talk about this week. This week was an okay episode. I mean, most of the interesting things or the interesting parts were at the getaway that Happy hosted, the one night away that she hosted. But other than that, the rest were just scenes here and there. I mean, as per usual, sorry guys, we will start with a rating. I'll be honest, this episode was just there. It wasn't like a lot of things happening, only at the last scene like I mentioned. So I'll give it a 5.5. Yeah, that's one of my lower ratings, only because I'll tell you why as we go along. The things that I wasn't feeling and the things that made it a 5.5 for me. Anyway, one of the things that I liked about this episode is this first scene where the ladies came together. Nosy hosted a family sports day kind of thing, games and outdoor games and stuff, and it was almost like a team building of some sorts, and I liked it. I mean, the ladies came, all of them actually showed up with their kids and their nannies, and they had a good time. Even the teenage kids were there, which was good to see because teenagers I really don't like going for these things, but I guess they came because they were told the other kids would be there, and it was nice. The ladies competed against each other in teams, and they had a good time. Then we see Mrs. Sunday. Mrs. Sunday left early. To me, it kind of felt like she was running away. And this is just my theory. I feel like she didn't want to have any sort of confrontation or issues or beef in front of her kids and nanny. I think she's proper like that. Like, let me not start something in front of my kids. Perhaps that's what I felt, because she left. But there's incidentally no issues, no beef, no drama, even with Ratile and Happy. There was no issues at all. Yeah, the ladies kicked it and had a good time. Yeah, we see Coco and Titi, that's Nosy and Happy's daughter, sitting down and catching up. I mean, they're building a friendship. You can see it's still kind of growing. They're just catching up about Titi's boyfriend, and Titi is very, very self-assured. I think she's decided she's gonna be almost like the opposite of her mom, and she's not gonna have her life centered around a man. I like that for her. Even at her young age, she's discerning, she's smart. She's decided, I'm me, I'm young. Yes, I love my man, we like each other, whatever, we're kids, we're young, but it's not the end all and be all. She doesn't chase men. Love that for her. We don't chase men. Yeah, then we see Happy and Mrs. Mops sit down, and Mrs. Mops is catching Happy up on her conversation with Nosy, and she tells her, look, Nosy opened up and what's going on in her marriage. There's a whole polygamous situation that's being sprung on her. And obviously Happy was empathetic to her. I mean, I think everyone in the group knows exactly what was happening. They just wanted her to talk about it in the group. But yeah, Nosy is tight-lipped. She doesn't trust the ladies just yet completely. It's understandable, but again, it might come back to bite her in the bum. Only because it's a reality TV show. We want to follow your reality. And I said this on my reels on my Instagram. If you check out my posts, I feel like she is she's struggling to open up. And I guess maybe she doesn't want to do any more damage to her, already shaky relationship. But then again, you're on a reality show. We want to know your reality. If things are happening, be open about them. And Happy is really trying to pull that out of her, because Happy is trying to actually throw her a lifeline. Happy came in season 1 open as a church door. Like, the girl was talking about everything, her, the abuse she went through, the physical abuse she went through in her marriage to her late husband, the cheating that happened even as he passed on. She was very open about the fact that it was not the best of marriages, and this endeared her to the fans of the show. Like, people loved Happy in season 1. I don't know about now. I need to check X and see what the fans' reactions are, especially after today's episode. But Happy was a fave for sure after last episode, because she put it all out, she laid it all out on the table. And I can tell she's trying to get Nosy to do that so she can last longer on the show or come back next season. You need to have some continuity and personal storyline, I'll say. But anyways, it is what it is. Yeah, and then that was pretty much the only other scene that was there. And then now we go straight into the getaway hosted by Happy. And yeah, the ladies are 3 ladies. Obviously, like I mentioned, there's a divide in the group and it's rather obvious because Happy has hired out a whole limo, but Ratile, Nunurai, and Mrs. Sunday are like, we are riding on our own. And Happy, Mrs. Mops, and Nosy rode in the limo. I've never ridden in a limo. Maybe I should, just for the heck of it. But yeah, they rode in the limo. They got away. They drove, drank the champs. Nosy wasn't feeling like drinking for whatever reason, but they had a good time. You could tell they were having a good time, twerking, dancing. Loved it for them. Yeah, they got to the hotel, the boutique hotel, and it was so cute. I loved how the rooms were, very nicely decorated. The bed looked cozy. And when the other ladies arrived, obviously in the car ride, we saw them gearing up and talking about how they're going to bring on the drama. Ratile was ready to bring it for sure. And Mrs. Sunday's like, yo, me and you, we ride till the wheels fall off. I'm loyal to you, okay? And Nunurai was driving and just laughing at the whole conversation. And yeah, they get there and Mrs. Sunday is obviously shading the room, talking about she's used to executive suites, but she'll take what they gave her. I'm just like, girl, the place was nice. Don't be too critical. Don't shade where it's not necessary. That was just unnecessarily being shady. Anyways, yeah, so we see the ladies now go for the Healing with Her Majesty night picnic. And Nunura is talking about, oh, I didn't know we were still on the ground. It's a picnic, girl. A picnic is on the ground, okay? So yeah, and they were all in pink, pink looks and all that. And my fave actually was Happy. Happy's fashion is not exactly my favorite among the ladies. Actually, Nunura always stands out to me. But at this event, Happy killed it. She came, she showed up, looked good, looked the part, and was ready to be the hostess with the mostest. Well, when these gatherings happen and games are played, this game was suggested by Mrs. Sandy, and true to form, it went down and it went down, okay? Because she talked about, say what you think about each lady, positive, and what you think they can improve on. And she went around the table and talked about everyone. And surprisingly enough, her soliloquy went quite well. Until we got to Happy. And Happy started with, she started with, anyway, the main person who she was talking, which caused everything, was when she went on her long drawn out speech about how she loves Mrs. Mops, how Mrs. Mops is a girl's girl, and how their friendship is strong and blah blah blah. And you could see Ratile laughing on the side with Nunura and sniggering off to the side. And obviously, Ratile came to stir the pot. She definitely came to stir the pot, and she didn't care until Happy came back at her. And girl, what did you expect when you say someone is kissing booty holes of someone else? What reaction do you expect at that point? Obviously, you're trying to start mess, and you got everything that was coming to you, because girl, even I would be triggered. Obviously, they're not in the best place, Ratile and Happy, and so it's definitely gonna hit a nerve if you say something negative more than if someone who she's okay with, right? And that obviously didn't sit well with Happy, and Happy was like, about time, we are gonna talk about it, okay? You are not gonna call me that, and you're gonna not mess my event, and da 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 da. And she went off and F bombs, and oh girl. Obviously, Ratile was a bit perturbed, and she got up and left the picnic setup, and in a half, like, pissed off about the fact that she got a rebuttal from Happy. What else did you expect when you say that to someone at the event? And then it was so rich of Nosy, Mrs. Sunday, Nunurai, all accusing Happy of spoiling her own event and not living to her healing by Her Majesty, healing by Her Majesty event, right? Which was what the event was about, and but guys, she's only human, and if you trigger her, she will react. I would react too. At least Ratile came back to the table, and we could see before things went south, Happy gave them some journals. At that point, she was even trying to get Nosy to talk about what's going on, and Nosy was just like, I'm just gonna be a spectator. I'm not ready to talk about anything. And this is the thing. I don't know why, when Happy tries to talk to her or get it out of her, even if it's just the two of them, she will not talk about it. But if it's Mrs. Mops, she's open as a church door. I guess for me, and that's something I've noticed, maybe she doesn't trust Happy that much. I guess. I don't know. Whatever the case, she was mum. She's like, I ain't talking about none of my ish. You guys do your thing. Yeah, so Ratile comes back to the table, obviously, after walking away. And at that point, the event has already just gone south and nobody wants to be there anymore. And Nunurai kind of steered it back on course and said, guys, let's, oh yes, I remembered. Happy started with Nunurai by giving her feedback. I like the fact that Nunurai accepted, right? She accepted that, yes, she doesn't like to be pointed out when she's done something wrong, or doesn't accept when she's wrong. But when now Happy goes off with Ratile, Nunurai is forcing Happy to acknowledge Ratile's feelings that she's kissing bumholes of Mrs. Mops. And I'm like, that's not the same thing. It's not the same definition, girl. It's like, no, your point was not landing. Your argument was not correct. No. I think you're just coming back at Happy. But I'm happy I'm happy about Nure, that she's speaking now. I mean, the last few episodes she's been rather quiet in the scenes, but now it's like she's slowly picking up and getting involved and involving herself in the scenes. And okay, fine, I guess that's what she was trying to do, because her argument just was not landing. Yeah, so the event fell apart. Nunurai tried to steer it back and was like, girls, let's try this again tomorrow because right now the vibe, the energy is done. And they walked away. But did you catch the hot mics between Mrs. Mops and Happy? And Mrs. Mops called someone a toxic bee. And I was like, Mrs. Mops? Mrs. Mops is... Why would you say that? You're mic'd, we can hear you. But in scene, like when guys are sitting around the picnic, whatever, you're not really even giving anything. You're just trying to look like the Karen Huger, the fence, neutral. But girl, the hot mic was hot micing and we heard it all. And yeah, that's definitely gonna be, I bet, a point of contention. I suspect she was directing it at Ratile, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, because Ratile actually, yeah, I suspect she was directing it at Ratile. And whatever the case, we heard it. We heard it loud and clear. And Mrs. Mops, yeah, let me just leave it at that. I'm hoping it will be addressed because she comes off as one person in scene, and then when the scene wraps, it's low-key digs. Anyway, we see next episode. A lot is coming. I mean, it's the finale. It's the 12th episode. And I'm praying to the reality gods that we do not have to wait months on end for a reunion this time around for the Mummy Club. Yeah, it's the happy episode. It's all about Miss Happy, Miss Happy. Let me not say her second name. I'm not South African. I can't claim to know how those names are said. But anyways, everyone is coming for Happy. That is Mrs. Sunday, Nunurai, Ratile, everybody, and Happy is not having. She's giving it right back to them. And the only thing I'm just like, whoa, we always have to have like this epic splashing of alcohol. Look, guys, I don't agree with that. That's an assault on someone. And Mrs. Sunday looked like she was going to give it to Happy. We're gonna have to wait to see what happens next week. But yeah, clearly a lot is gonna happen in the next episode, and I will be right here to talk about it with you guys. So for now, I'm gonna say good night or good morning or whatever time you're watching this. And please, guys, like my YouTube videos, like my reviews, so that it can be pushed out in the algorithm, and guys can come to my page. Subscribe, guys. I see more views than subscriptions. Guys, don't make me beg. Follow me on all my other social media pages. That is TikTok, Reality TV Africa. Instagram, reality_TV_Africa. And yeah, guys, let's kiki. Let's have fun. Let's talk about reality. Because over here, we love everything reality TV. Okay? So, bye.